So like, are we in World War III right now? I'm so serious, dude. I know people throw around World War III every time two countries threaten each other every single time, but I need you to look at the world for about 5 seconds. This is the gas up the street for me. That's the gas price. I just took this picture. I went outside and went to go take this picture. This is the gas up the street for me. We're in this crazy big conflict with Iran at the current moment. Big Yahoo and Trumpy Dumpy are also just like very in cahoots with each other. We're supporting Israel like crazy. Did you know the Russia and Ukraine war is still happening? It's still happening. I didn't know that. NATO right now is pouring a lot of resources into Europe. China is constantly looming in the background around Taiwan. Every couple of weeks, there's some new headlines about missiles and ships and drones and military bases and sanctions and another country getting dragged into another conflict. Seems strange, doesn't it? At what point am I allowed to look at all this stuff, all this nonsense happening, and say, hey guys, this is getting a little World War-ish, isn't it? Now, technically, no, before you call me an idiot and say, hey, actually, the reason we're not in a world war is, I know, I don't think we're actually in World War III yet. The biggest reason is that the major global powers are not directly fighting each other. That's not what's happening across all different fronts. America is not openly in a war with Russia. Russia is not launching a conventional war against NATO. China is not directly fighting the United States. NATO has not officially entered the Russia-Ukraine war as a combatant. I grasp that. I understand that. Well, NATO has not officially entered. I don't know what I'm saying. Russia didn't enter. NATO has not entered that. China has not invaded Taiwan officially yet, and that's a very important distinction when talking about the world wars. A bunch of massive wars happening at the same time does not automatically mean a world war. World War II is not simply several bad things happening simultaneously. Major powers and alliance blocks were directly fighting one another across continents. That was what World War was. But I mean, we're still at war. We're still really powered. There's like crazy wars going on right now. It doesn't make me feel relaxed to say we're not at war, you know? I really don't mean to fearmonger. I really don't. I'm just addressing a lot of my concerns because I'm terrified. America can support Ukraine without directly fighting Russia, right? But what happens when one of those missiles lands somewhere it absolutely was not supposed to land? What happens when an innocent kills NATO personnel? What happens that? What happens when that goes on? Is that going to be strange? And why did I say innocent? Why did I say innocent? What happened when somebody misidentifies an aircraft? What happens when one government believes another country has crossed the red line? World wars do not necessarily begin with every government calmly sitting around a table saying, okay, all right, guys, look at me. At noon, at necessarily this time, we will begin the global apocalypse. This will make it good. Good? Good, okay. You know, you good? You good, Putin? You good? Yahoo, big Yahoo? You good? Perfect. Sometimes they grow out of regional conflicts, alliances, retaliation, miscalculation, nationalism, leaders believing they can escalate one more time without everything imploding and pin on itself. That's what happens, and it's going to happen, I feel. And then you got the Middle East. America is fighting Iran while supporting Israel, and Iran has relationships with groups and governments throughout the region. Shipping routes matter, oil matters, military bases, they're very important. Every time something happens around the Persian Gulf or the Strait of Hormuz, normal people thousands of miles away, I'm the person, I get to see it, get completely annihilated by these ridiculous gas prices. Seems a little bit stupid. This is so weird about modern war. Because, I'm in Michigan. I have absolutely nothing to do with the missile launched halfway across the planet. And somehow I'm paying $2 more for gas. What's going on here? What's happening? I really need you to understand that Russia and Ukraine have been fighting for years now. I think about how insane that is. There is a gigantic European war happening right now, and we have almost normalized it. Cities have been destroyed. Huge numbers of people have been displaced. Soldiers have been dying for years. Western countries continue sending Ukraine weapons, money, trading intelligence, and equipment while Russia maintains relationships with countries hostile to the West. And everything is trying to keep this bizarre balancing act where we are heavily involved without becoming directly involved in order to create a Russia-NATO war. It's so uncomfortable to live on this constant threshold of anxiety. Then there's China and Taiwan. Oh my God, that is so horrifying. Every time I think about China and Taiwan, I get really upset, right? Because there's this weird balancing act. Suddenly you're talking about American military commitment to stretching across Europe, the Middle East, and the Pacific simultaneously. And we got Japan and South Korea and NATO allies and Russia and Iran and China and North Korea and all the other different alliances and strategic partnerships involved. You can see why people hear, well, this isn't World War III. And then they say, okay, what exactly are we waiting for? We're basically staring at multiple piles of gasoline where everyone keeps insisting that technically Technically, none of the fires are connected. It's just random fires. Technically, they're not connected. I do want to state that I'm not just doom posting here. Right? I'm not just saying the worst thing ever and seeing what sticks just to get a lot of clickbait. There's instability everywhere. There's wars that refuse to end. Governments keep increasing military spending. There's threats between nuclear powers. There's a threat of nuclear winter, economic pressure, rising energy costs, drone warfare becoming really normal, civilians dying on their phones every day on TikTok, every day, constantly talking about, oh, deterrence and escalation. All the leaders just keep saying those words. Then somebody tells them, don't worry, this isn't technically a world war. That offers no comfort. Cool. Great. Wonderful. Well, that's great. That's awesome. We haven't unlocked the official achievement yet. I'm still at this current moment, I'm still watching several of the most powerful countries on Earth stand increasingly close to conflicts that could pull them directly fighting against one another. That's what I'm watching. So no, I would not literally say we're living through World War III right now. I wouldn't literally say that. I would say we're living through a kind of global environment where asking the question is very reasonable. And that's very scary. There's a difference between me saying World War III has begun and saying the conditions necessary for an enormous global war are becoming disturbingly visible. And I'm able to see it. We should care about what's happening with the world a lot more and stop acting so oblivious to it. That'd be great. I do not need historians 50 years from now to name something before I am allowed to notice that the planet is incredibly unstable. I would really prefer we never reached a point where everyone finally agrees, yep, this counts. Because by the time that argument is settled, we're gonna have much bigger problems than just saying World War III. World War 2.5 final mix. Well, thanks for checking out the video. Sorry to depress you. If you guys want to support content like this, or at least less depressing content, go ahead and subscribe to the Patreon, I suppose. Have a lovely day or night wherever you're at, and I'm out. Peace. Bye.
I'm your nigga night, be my loyalties low. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free.